dialed in. He called his shot early on, and he is the first person to ever finish the Cocodona 250. And again, you saw him just there, chatting with our own Dylan Harris in the heart of Flagstaff at Heritage Square. It is a bit chilly here this morning in the beautiful town of Flagstaff. Temperatures, I believe, hovering right around 40 degrees right now. 39 degrees and sunny in Flagstaff, Arizona right now. As we are looking at our men's champion, Mr. Michael Versteeg, the whiskey man himself, or as we now dubbed him after calling his shot so early, the Great Rumbino. And again, we have a look there at Mama Versteeg, who is rocking the Packers sweatshirt. I saw in the chat earlier that if we can get Michael a meet and greet or connected to the Phoenix Suns, maybe we can get Mama Versteeg a meet and greet with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that we can do that, but we will. We're still going to work on the Phoenix Suns though for our men's champion Michael Versteeg. And again, Michael Versteeg showed why he held the Arizona Trail FKT for 5 years. His experience in certain areas of this course definitely played a big factor in the outcome of this race, and his, just ability to endure some of these darker patches really, I think, played a big role in Michael's success here. If you're just joining us again, we're looking at Michael Versteeg, the first ever finisher of the Cocodona 250. His name will forever be etched in the history books of this race.
Yeah, it really was an incredible effort. And in a few moments, we'll take you over some updates, because while he did come in and finish, we do still have a race for second place, and a lot more action going on across the entire pack, because it's Thursday morning, 5:55 a.m. in Arizona, and there are still more than 2 full days before the cutoff for this race. So that shows you that this race, there's a lot more stuff going on here at the Cocodona 250, the inaugural Cocodona 250. And it seems that there's a few jokes in the chat are saying it broke the internet. We're trying to figure that out as well. I think it might very well have broken the internet right as he was coming in. There was just so much action going on at the finish line. Our streaming rates and streaming limits are going up. It just shows you how many people are interested in coming and watching this amazing moment. We with Michael Versteeg in downtown Flagstaff.
And there we have
Jubilee and Fox.
Aravaipa's own Jubilee Page and another star of the show, Fox. And Michael Versteeg getting a winner's greeting from the Aravaipa mascot, Fox, who is hanging in there. Fox looked a bit tired as well.
He's been all over the course, Fox.
He has been, and look at him go.
He's shaking it out right there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy how.
Again, yeah, we're just watching in, listening in to Michael Versteeg, talking to family, friends, his crew, his pacers, everybody that has helped him along the way on the course.
And one fun thing to note here, Michael has not yet sat down, and we have not seen him consume anything.
I think he, I mean, you made a fantastic point. I just have no words for that, actually. I would imagine if you sitting down after an effort like that, it's going to take quite a while to get back up.
He's probably just happy to not have to be moving right now and to be in the heart of Flagstaff at this moment.
I mean, I think it's going to take several days for that to sink in.
Yeah, I kept getting people like, oh, you're us. People were really watching. So again, I haven't had my phone on for 3 or 4 days. I'm like worried I'm going to
And we have someone, can we confirm that he's not part alien or part robot? We can confirm he is not part alien and not part robot, but he is definitely part machine.
I think I'm going to go to the van. It's my van. They're both over there. We're right behind you. Which van should they use? The world is your van. Yeah, I can get my mom.
A huge congratulations to Michael Versteeg.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going to point something out. I've been on the air for quite a while since Monday morning, and again, this one's just more for you and I. I believe we confirmed that Michael Versteeg was my pick before, and now
Yeah, I hope you enjoy showing your face in wonderful state of New York. I hope that all New Yorkers who are out listening disown Rob for going against his people in the Northeast there, but no, in all seriousness, I think there were a number of people who had a shot at winning this coming in.
So many. I mean, it's such a stacked field.
Everyone's list, I think. I mean, don't hold the Arizona Trail FKT for no reason. And yeah, just a really great effort, a really masterclass performance there from Versteeg, who was basically in control since Crown King, since he left Crown King and made the pass on Drew Frey's shortly thereafter.
Absolutely. And if you are trying to listen to the camera, you notice there's a lot of other technical there. So there's a lot of feedback and interference that we can't do anything about. So definitely grateful for all your patience for all our viewers the timing mats and all the other tech there waiting at the finish line. Trying to give you the best feed you can. Continue bringing you comprehensive coverage of races. And we are waiting to get more cameras down the course and some more intel down the course because we definitely have a lot more stories to follow. We will continue our live stream coverage. I will probably take a nap. I'll be honest about that, Matt. So I'm going to have you take over after. I'm going to need an hour after 30 hours straight, and maybe hit an 8 station myself. But we'll be back. I'll be back in the weekend, Matt, and we'll go through some other sections of the course. And as less and less crews and volunteers on the course, we'll have less and less opportunity for coverage and have people jump in or have volunteers jump in to bring footage on the course. But we'll try to bring some updates when we can. In the coming days, we will try to get more finishers at the finish line, the coming hours rather, and just stay tuned for updates as we continue to observe the absolute monster of a race that is the Cocodona 250. Because we, of course, want to hear from Jamil Coury, the brainchild, because this is his brainchild. He's the visionary behind this race. Of course, it would be awesome to chat with the race director, Stephen Adderholt, later on in the week or maybe later on today if he makes his way toward Flagstaff. But either way, a huge shout out to everybody who's helped put on this race. We have plenty more action out there. And as the day gets up and running, we will bring you more. When we have it.
We are taking a look at the finish area here in downtown Flagstaff.
We're going to go over to Tony Hill now. We're going to start moving out into different sections of the course. Tony, tell me what you're seeing.
We got this Maggie at Fort Todd Hill right now.
And then there's our
She
ladies
just
race
arrived
leader,
and heading out.
Maggie Gutierrez is heading
She's
to
going
Fort Todd Hill.
to her crew van.
We are taking a look right now at Maggie Gutierrez, our current ladies race leader at Fort Todd Hill, mile 219 on the course.
Yeah, she's meeting with her crew now. Maggie Gutierrez is similar to actually that we saw yesterday in Sedona. When we got that great 8-station coverage. And if you were with us at all yesterday, we know there were a lot of sections along in the Coconino Plateau where our feeds are spotty. This is just how the cellular coverage is in some areas. That's kind of just how it is with a 255-mile race. But I think we're actually going to go take a look while she gets settled with her crew. We're going to go over, see if we can go over to Daniel Spider Pena. We'll get him set up in a minute, but Dan, we'll come back to you in a minute. We'll get your feed set up. Yeah, but Matt, what are your thoughts on that Versteeg finish, that big win for the inaugural Cocodona 250?
Yeah, I mean, what a phenomenal performance from Michael Versteeg, who called his shot early on, ran it pretty hot from the front most of the race, seemingly timed his sleep perfectly, and yeah, his name will now forever be etched in the history books as the first ever champion of the Cocodona 250.
Yeah. Now we've got Daniel's view on your screen now. Daniel, if you can hear us, tell us where you're at.
We left Black Tank. We're about almost a mile and a half in, making that climb up. I'm with Big Bill Dittman, number 71.
There we go. Bill Dittman. He's there with Spider Pena, leaving out a Black Tank. So Bill's still in that Sedona area of the course, and again, we were just talking about the diversity of Arizona, and that's exactly what the Cocodona 250 course is all about. Trying to expose that diversity across the spectrum, from the Sonoran Desert to the various seldom trekked mountain terrains, all the way until the well-known alpine areas of Flagstaff. I know, Matt. We have now gotten visuals from across the course. What's your favorite section?
Yeah, I think that my favorite section still might be the meandering trail that brings you down into Fort Tuthill, where we saw Michael Versteeg yesterday just absolutely rolling. You know, running through the high alpine Coconino forest is absolutely beautiful. How about you, Rob?
I don't know. I'm gonna say probably Mingus Mountain. Mingus Mountain. We had some great sides of Mingus Mountain, but obviously where we're looking right now, Sedona is probably.
It's definitely up there for sure, right?
Yeah. And again, we may restart the stream in a bit. We have just been streaming nonstop, and I think we're breaking the internet here. I'm just going to put that out there in a non-technical term. So we're going to have to troubleshoot it because, again, if you're just joining us, I know a lot of you in the chat have been with us for the last, I don't know, how many days, Matt? 4 days? I'm about to tap out.
I think we are now into Monday part 4.
Monday part 4. Yeah, we're probably going to restart the stream in a little bit. We're just working with our technical director right there. So again, thank you all for your understanding in the stream. Looking in at Sedona right now. Oh, look at that sunrise coming up. I mean, just classic.
Classic Arizona sunrises and sunsets that we have had the wonderful fortune of being able to bring to you over the past few days.
That's right. And Matt, what you missed while you were gone, are you aware of some of the amazing things that went down last night?
I am not. When I left this studio, I made my way home and immediately went to bed so that I could come back.
Rightfully so.
And I made it back into the studio moments before our race leader.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember because it was a lot of things. It was one of those moments where we were reaching like a lull of the night, and then all of a sudden in the early morning hours, we start to notice Jeff Garmeyer was in the chat on YouTube. He was running alone, approaching like mile 200, doing a Garmeyer Ask Me Anything while watching the live stream and just having a conversation with me. So then I connected with him. We got him hooked up on a feed, and we just had trail talk with Garmeyer for about 10 minutes.
On Aravaipa After Dark.
Yeah, it might have been so after dark. It was just before sunset. But and that was while we were on course waiting for Michael Versteeg. But
so it's nice to know that there is so much love for the live stream that even the athletes are wanting to check in with us when they have a moment by pulling out their phones on the trail and hopping in the chat, like the one and only, the fastest known tiger, Jeff Garmeyer.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. There were actually a few athletes that were out running the race checking in. And then, to be honest, I can't even remember at this point. I think I might need MedStar Solutions to come to the. We were checking. Of course, that's a reference to. When did you leave? Did you leave before? We got eyes on Peter and Dax in.
I left
Fort
while
Tuttle?
the two were still in Fort Tuttle.
In Fort Tuttle, okay.
But I do not know. Did they leave together? Did
No,
we
so
see a pass in Fort Tuttle? Did Peter leave before Dax at Fort Tuttle?
No, so Dax obviously got there before, and then he was going to do a 10-minute nap. He extended it to a 20-minute nap, and then he was with the medical team. We talked with them. And they said it was a standard assessment, but he was in there for quite some time. Then he finally came out looking pretty good spirits. But during that time, Peter had come in. Peter looked fresh, and once he saw Dax go out, Peter, within less than, I would say about 4 or 5 minutes, was up and out and going after him. And then it was a bunch of leapfrogging a bit. It was hard to tell with the GPS pings, depending on how they update. Yeah. Sometimes it can look like a leapfrog that's not actually happened. But based on, they were neck and neck for a while, and then coming out of Walnut Canyon, then we saw Peter come in first. So, and of course.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for Peter at this point in the race, being on basically his home trails up there in the greater Flagstaff area.
Yeah. And if you're just tuning in, we are watching Bill Dittman in the Sedona area. He's going to be making his way up later up the Kasner Mountain climb and onto the Coconino Plateau. Getting closer and closer.
Yeah, this is live. Oh. This is live.
Oh,
baby.
He's been live for the last 10 minutes. Did he not know?
I know.
Sorry about that.
He's been a little preoccupied. So
yeah, just got a little bit of mileage in the legs, right?
It's funny. A lot of the runners that I've been talking to and seeing, they have. I mean, I guess they're just finding out about I think they've been so busy getting ready for the race and doing the race that they don't even realize it's all being live streamed in almost 24 hours a day.
I know. I don't even think we realize it sometimes,
yeah.
man.
No, I don't think that we do.
But yeah. just sitting here watching it all unfold exactly as it is. And we do see a lot of familiar... You have our audio on there, Anthony? So we do see a lot of familiar faces on there. Denise Steele, thank you for that. This is better than watching the Tour de France. Well, we do appreciate that. Obviously, again, these sections of the course, the second half of the course is more challenging just because the internet service out in these parts of Arizona is not nearly as reliable as, you know, the further out you get from certain areas. But again, it's also just like bandwidth issues. You know, we're taking in a lot of streaming. This is something we've never done before. We're just, I mean, obviously we've live streamed before, but at this level and this capacity, we're just 3 dudes in the studio figuring it out on the fly, like a lot of the teams out there are. We're actually going to go back to Tony. I think he still has eyes on Maggie Gutturl in Fort Tuthill. There we are. Just listening in.
No traffic. Good. Hey Rob, can you hear me?
Yes, Tony, you are live right now. We can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, she's looking pretty good. She's in good spirits. Her pacer was saying that she laid down for a bit out there, and he didn't want to scare her, but there was a bunch of coyotes around them, surrounding them, and he was kind of freaking out.
Really?
But yeah. But so she's good. They made it here in one piece, so no coyotes, no coyote attack. She also said the last section was the easiest part of the whole course.
I'm just completely astounded at this coyote news. You wouldn't expect it. Again, can you say that again? Repeat to our viewers where along the course this happened?
I don't know where that was. Let me come around here. They're just asking where was the coyote surround that we had there?
It's probably about 3 miles out, the last aid station. We laid down for a few minutes, and they were probably within 60, 70 feet of us.
What? How many coyotes were in this pack, do you think?
Oh, hundreds. Had to have been hundreds.
For real?
Maybe 2.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come on now. You're messing with me.
The chat wants to know, were these real coyotes or were they coyotes in hammocks?
Alluding to hallucinations.
Coyotes and banana hammocks? What?
And there we go. That is the new title of this stream is going to be that. That is a hilarious story from Maggie Gutturl's crew. So there you have some coyote sightings out there on the trail, about 3 miles out from, I guess that would be Cinder Pit if they're in Fort Tuttle now, so 3 miles out from Cinder Pit.
Yeah, Phantom for you.
It just shows you like a much different scene when we saw Maggie yesterday morning when she was in Sedona. It was about heat management, getting her feet and body ready for the heat, and now we got puffy jackets and sleeping bags. It's just a much different scenario.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, don't let her go to sleep. How was that last section overall, other than the coyotes?
The single track is phenomenal. It's mostly new single track, so it's really well built right now. It's super fun, flowy.
Flowy.
Yeah, just a couple miles that wagged out there. It's really nice. It is. It was good. It was you always think it's going to be flat. There's some small hills out there. It's nice. She was rolling.
What's the thoughts or strategy going into the next section?
Well, I think we have a chance of catching second place. No, we don't at all.
There's a guy who just left when Maggie got here, so
Yes, I think we're going to try to hunt him down. And then there's a few guys that are maybe 7 miles out that are still a chance if they take, because she's hungry.
cool. Yeah, she's talking about that when I was chasing her last night. And good, yeah. So she's still hunting.
But at the most, forward motion.
Exactly.
A few cat naps under the way. Doing well. It was a cold night.
Yeah, it's about 40 degrees here, I think, for everyone watching.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's chilly out there, as to be expected this time of year in the morning in Flagstaff. But you heard it from her crew. I believe that was Brian Tinder we were speaking with, and he said that Maggie Cottrell was hungry. And
Wants to just keep moving up
just
through
wants
the
to
field.
keep moving.
Brian, did you need anything?
Really good.
So yeah, there you have it, Matt. I mean, again, we have yet another morning that started out with eyes on Maggie Cottrell and her crew and her pacers. Like I said, for those of you that may just be tuning in, as we all start this new day here in the studio at day 4 of the Cocodona 250. Yeah, like yesterday at day 3, like when they came into aid station 1 at Sedona, mile 161 aid station, she just looked really fresh. And again, it was about heat management. But here, she looked solid. That's the same. It's just look how much difference there is in gear and preparation and what it looks like when you're battling, getting ready to deal with cooler temps in the morning. Versus the heat of the day that she was dealing with in the Sedona area about 24 hours
and I
ago.
think that just goes to show you kind of how diverse this race course is. You know, we've been saying it basically all week. This might be the most diverse 200 plus miler in the country, as it takes you from the depth of the Sonoran Desert all the way up into the pines of Flagstaff. So if you remember early on in the race, a lot of the carnage caused in that first 50K was because of how hot it was and how exposed you were in stretches. And even yesterday, we had a direct quote from the legend Pam Reed, who said it was hotter than Badwater, that stretch from Deer Pass to Sedona.
That's
and
absolutely
as
right.
someone who has run Badwater multiple times, she would be the expert.
She would know. And of course, has not just won it, but won it outright, correct?
First female to ever have won it outright, the legend Pam Reed. And then, just hours later, like we just saw, you're up in the high alpine Coconino Plateau, and overnight the temps probably dropped into the low 30s. And now, even as the sun is rising, you're looking at temps right around 40 degrees up there. And so the just difference and diversity in both the terrain and the temperatures has been really incredible to watch over the last couple days, and even over just the last few hours.
Yeah, it's just, Matt, I'm just gonna be honest with you and be honest with our viewers, because a lot of the same viewers are here with us. I've got no words left. I think I'm just gonna maybe call in Chris Worden. Maybe he can call out sick from work to relieve me. I think I might need to go take a trail nap in the other room.
Yeah, well, you've definitely earned it, Rob.
I'm gonna stay on.
Last I talked to you, you
I
said
might just need to pound some more goose, which
I
was
am
the
going
plan.
to stay on here
Until we had a finisher,
Yeah.
first finisher,
And now you
we
need
did.
a trail nap. It just goes to show you the ultra that is broadcasting this 250-mile race. Obviously, we're not going to be as sore tomorrow like the runners will be, or for the coming weeks in that matter.
Oh, yeah.
And we aren't going to be as sleep deprived, but we are definitely still going to we're definitely not getting enough sleep, I guess is the easiest way to put it. And we have a shout out from my good friend Ron in the chat room. Someone get these guys some coffee. We may have to fire the coffee pot up. Again, I sprinted into the studio to catch Versteeg's finish, and I am the curator of coffee here in the studio.
I don't know that coffee may be the answer for me, though, at this point.
You just need to inject adrenaline straight into your veins.
Nope. I still don't think that's the answer. I'm still like nursing this like 6-shot espresso thing that's more making me feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack instead. But again, nothing compared to. We've got our feet up. Again, we are just waiting for. We've got Tony Hill's feet up.
We got Darling Runner PT. You guys really need to take a break. You deserve it. Does that mean that we're not doing a good job right now?
What's
Darling Runner PT is just showing us some love in the chat room, saying that we have earned a break.
Did they say to sleep on camera? We could do a trail nap cam in the studio. We'll just go on that couch over there and just like.
Did someone say
kind of
that?
be weird. I thought I might have. Again,
back here at Fort Tuttle.
I think Jeff Gormeyer and I would be able to have comparable hallucination stories. I literally thought I saw a raccoon in here before. Anthony stepped out of the room and I was like, "There's a raccoon on the second floor." It was a backpack. I'm not even making this up.
Did you walk the viewers through this live?
No, I was focused. I was like, we got Versteeg coming in. We got to stick to it. I mean, it was too busy. We're making sure we were getting filmers up. And again, we're just sharing our own war stories while we wait. Watch Maggie Cotero bib 4 get ready to come out of Fort Tuttle aid station.
A really nice clean shot of the race bibs there, and you can see just how beautiful they are. And
it's crazy how the
great work our team did in creating those race bibs.
Yeah, follow the cones around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy how like the feed just cleans up when you don't expect it.
Thanks, guys.
The internet is
Yeah, and here we go. Right as we need it, we're getting some clean footage of Maggie Gutierrez as she is heading out from Fort Tuthill down to Walnut Canyon as she continues her journey to the wonderful town of Flagstaff, Arizona.
Hey, Maggie, I don't want to misquote you. You said that last part was easy?
That was the easiest section of the whole course. I mean, I was tired, but like, it's raining.
You hear that?
Glad to hear something's easy for you. This is not an easy course.
It's not easy at mile 200 something, but yeah, it's a nice gift.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sun
Well, you
came
heard
right
it there.
back like I said it would.
Yeah, you're right. Last morning, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Now you got this.
It's gonna get classy. This is like sunscreen. I just smeared them around.
Okay.
Okay, we're
You
just
definitely
listening in.
changed climates in the past couple days. All on your feet.
Get it, guys.
Again, that's right. You see it there as they head deeper out. Back into the Ponderosa Pines. And she said that last section was the easiest one on the course. Cinder Pit to Fort Tuttle.
Yeah, I believe she also said nothing feels easy when you're 200 miles in.
That is
but
correct.
relatively relative to the rest of the course, I think that this might have been one of the easier sections, and I think that is a little bit of a theme, as we did see Michael Versteeg yesterday, again, our overall winner, who just finished moments ago. He was rolling through that section pretty well, and I believe Maggie's pacer used the term flowy to describe that section of the trail, and that's what it looked like on our video footage yesterday that we were able to capture. And again, if you are just tuning in, we are watching Maggie Gutierrez as she leaves Fort Tudhill around mile 220. She's got just a cool 50K-ish left in the race. Which still seems like a lot to me. But I'm sure after running 200 miles, Maggie can now feel like she's closing in on the finish line there in the heart of Flagstaff.
What was your name?
Tony.
Tony O'Brien.
Brian, nice to meet you.
Yeah, so that's Maggie's pacer. Brian Tinder is taking Maggie out Fort Tuttle, and she's going to go over to Walnut Canyon. It's mile 235, so she's got a 16-mile stretch coming up.
But definitely abbreviated.
Yeah.
Lots of abbreviated sleep by everyone here.
You hear it. This is the theme across the board.
I think these guys, Rob, haven't you guys been up all night?
We are on hour 25 of continuous coverage, and I've run out of adjectives. But I can't complain. I mean, I'm looking at runners tackle 250 miles right now, so I am honestly just having a blast watching it unfold.
No more adjectives, yeah. We've got ultra hosts. Seriously, it's got to be a record.
Yes, this is the FKB, self-coined. This is the fastest known broadcast. Actually, it might be the longest known broadcast. I think we're going to have an LKB. So we're going to have to see if we can get up on the FKT leaderboards for that. We're going to have to...
Yeah, can we contact the folks over at Fastest Known Times?
Yeah, I think we could just maybe
website.
talk to Buzzborough and see if he can make a separate tab on that website for us. And
well, I think it's well deserved. I
Yeah.
mean, I did get to go home and have a couple hour
well, that's called
sleep.
a supported effort, you know.
Yeah.
I did have a drop bag and a pacer. Literally, Anthony came on the air for me for 3 hours, and Anthony became a co-host for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it's
did
been
bring
a team effort here.
I
for
did bring a
sure.
drop bag, but again, let's keep eyes on Maggie. The real story here. I was
It's a
taking
really
beta.
beautiful trail.
It really is.
And Rob, the people want to know, and by the people I mean me. I noticed that you still have the maroon shirt underneath there. Is that the same maroon shirt from Monday Part 1?
I went Versteeg style in this. I went through very limited wardrobe swaps throughout throughout this broadcast.
You know, you just
I
wanted
actually
to
even have
really
the
immerse
same exact
yourself.
shoes on, like exact model.
You wanted to really immerse
I did do a
yourself
sock
in the
swap though. I
experience.
was
Hey.
taking beta the whole time. Why do you think I'm in here? I'm trying to learn from the best out there. I'm looking at what crews are doing. I even put some squirrel's nut butter on the feet.
Shout out to our wonderful sponsors, Squirrel's Nut Butter, helping out at the
I mean,
Fort
I'm actually
Tuttle
being
aid
serious
station
though. Like
that we just saw Maggie Gutierrez, our women's leader, leave. So shout out to.
I mean, we were answering their questions.
Squirrels.
Brian was asking us questions, so you know, we're just giving the facts now.
Brian Tinder, also, if I'm not mistaken, a good friend of fan favorite Chris Vargo.
Yep, absolutely. I didn't see Chris drop into the chat at all during the 25 hours of
Yeah, I saw Chris
marathon
in the
coverage.
chat a little bit yesterday. So the celebrities were out. We had Chris Fargo in the chat yesterday. We had the Ginger Runner in the chat yesterday. We had Sally McRae sighting who was tuning in to support Maggie on Maggie's endeavor here. So, you know, the celebrities in our sport were tuning into this wonderful coverage of the Cocodona 250. And we're just taking a look at the chat over here.
All right, you guys
I
have a
think
good one.
we've got eyes. Actually, we're going to go to Nolan now. We've got eyes on Peter Mortimer on Eldon. Surprise. We're going to go into our second place contender here in just a moment. We're just going to bring
give us
up
a
his
few
feed.
seconds to queue up this feed here.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at, again, that was Brian Titter pacing Maggie Couturel making her way to Walnut Canyon. And
we have it right here.
This is my first. Yeah. I might. We'll see.
Here we go.
We have Peter Mortimer on his way up Mount Eldon in second place here. Eldon looks a little bit different now that the sun is up.
And you know, we see that hat. 8 more miles. We were told that is how many miles roughly he will have once he summits. At least this is what he said. That once he summits or gets to Eldon Aid, that hat is to remind him he's got 8 more miles. But we shall see if that math is accurate, because we've all learned that ultras and math don't combine.
Including ultra broadcasts. Rule of thumb is just don't do math.
Again, we've got footage from Nolan Sheehan.
Good morning.
Look
Look at that. Peter Mortimer
Given the
nearly
right away.
250 miles into this race and still showing amazing trail etiquette here. That's what this sport's all about.
Technically, he had the right of way.
Yeah, but he wanted to be a gentleman to the lovely
the gentleman
woman
that
who
he
is
is.
out enjoying her morning hike. So, shout out to the mensch, Peter Mortimer, who is also our second place runner right now in the inaugural Cocodona 250. And I'm sure Pete is enjoying his time on his hometown trails right now, just trying to bring it home.
I thought I heard that he's gonna, even though he lives close, that he will be getting a ride. I'm being serious. I forget where I heard that, but it was from one of our interviews that we've heard throughout the coverage, talking to athletes and crews over the last 3.5 days. Yes, Yvette Van Laar saying, is this the same part we saw Mike Versteeg climbing up in the dark a few hours ago? Yes, we are making their way toward the Eldon climb. I believe they're still
Currently on the Eldon Lookout Trail, or
I
are they still on the Fat Man Loop?
believe, based on looks, and we can see if we can have Nolan confirm, I believe that this is the Fat Man's Loop, which will lead to the proper Eldon Lookout Trail. Is that correct, Nolan?
Oh yeah, it's perfect. So I
Not sure
believe we
Nolan's
should
able
hit
to
that
hear me.
lookout trail soon.
There we go.
Yep.
We've got confirmation.
There we go.
I knew when I saw that tree on the ground.
And I think at one point, Rob, while you had stepped out, Versteeg also said he has run the Eldon Lookout Trail probably hundreds of times. So I think that's also part of why Michael was looking forward to the climb up Eldon, because his body felt better climbing. He was a little bit worried about the descent, I believe, based on how he was feeling. But yeah, he said he has run that trail hundreds of times, and it was just no big deal to the whiskey man himself. So, and I'm sure Peter
Starting to get a pretty good view.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Good water.
Sounds like he's going to stop for water as Nolan gives us a view. Looking back.
Just breathing.
Kick it all in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to it.
And again, this is Peter Mortimer on his big hike home.
Yeah.
Flagstaff local. Yeah, he's just been, I mean, he told us yesterday morning at Huntley Tank Aid, mile 174, that when he was in third place, he made it his goal. He's like, I'm just going after. I'm taking that second place. And of course, has a commanding lead right now. Pulled away a bit, according to our GPS tracker from Dax Hawk. And pretty shortly, he will go up a few more rocky sections. You see the vegetation will start to change. We'll get more like alligator junipers, and eventually get up into the ponderosa and some aspen up there for a little bit. But right now he's making his way on the Fat Man's Loop Trail, which is going to take him to the junction for Eldon Lookout Trail, and that's where it gets steeper. These kind of rocks will continue. It gets pretty chossy, like pretty slippery at some sections, especially toward the top rather, when he gets closer into the Ponderosa Pines. He's making it look quite easy though. Matt, I know you haven't done this trail before since you're pretty new to Arizona. He is making it look easy.
Not bad.
With 240 miles on his legs. Does that make you
Yeah, dude, you're moving.
want to do it? I know you had no
Yeah,
interest
keep
in
it
this
up.
before.
That's perfect.
No, this makes me
Get there in
maybe
no
want to
time.
go do the Eldon Lookout Trail, but I know for a fact that Peter Mortimer, with 240 some odd miles on his legs, can still probably climb a little bit better than me. So you can tell from the footage that it's pretty
Just a little
tough. Yeah, so even Pete Mortimer on dead legs, tired legs, would still crush me up this climb. But I'd love to give it a go one day. The Eldon Lookout Trail, that is.
Not the Cocodona 250.
I'm not closing the door. I never say never, you know? But not in 2022 is what I would say.
I mean, people were throwing down some big ideas in the chat earlier today. They were calling it the Cocodona 500. It would be an out and back of what we're witnessing now.
The Cocodona, yeah.
Which would be the Cocodona 1000. There's the mini donut. Which would be Sedona to Flagstaff. And again, we're going to get some great views. The camera is actually looking about southeast right now. You see Sheep Hill right there. Now
Dude, this is sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. This is your first time up?
Yeah.
How is it? Where you from?
Chandler, down in Phoenix,
Okay.
down in the valley.
For the race all week, or?
Yeah, I just got up here like Wednesday, so
Cool.
Started filming yesterday.
Awesome,
It's been
man.
great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you having fun the race?
Yeah.
Having a good time?
Yeah.
Right on.
A little tired, but
Yeah.
sleep better.
Yeah. You sleep later.
Yeah.
You can sleep soon.
Yeah.
So soon.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well, almost to the fort to go up.
Right.
Yeah. Then it really climbs.
But then you can get that climb out of the way and boom.
And there you have it. Peter Mortimer in
hospitality
some
there.
incredible spirits there, just taking it all
Oh, yeah?
in. Again, Pete is a Flagstaff local. So he makes these trails, and he is just having a good time out there. So good to see. Pete has had a smile on his face basically the entire time, even though I can only imagine how difficult it is, 240 some odd miles into this treacherous race.
Yeah, and looking into the chat here, everybody's laughing. Then he said, "Yeah, just a little tired. Just a little tired."
Rob, who do you think is more tired right now, you or Peter?
Probably. Well, he
Just
claims
based
to
on-
be just a little tired, but I've been sitting. It's definitely gonna imagine Peter. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. If I'm more,
Peter's definitely.
he would definitely
more,
crush me on this Eldon climb on fresh legs right now.
Yeah,
Like
very
no,
factual.
like the way he's going, he's actually moving quite
And
smoothly.
we have
Like
Nick
if you were like,
Coury-
I'd be like, oh,
Nick
he's
Coury
just out for his
throwing
regular
down
hike.
the gauntlet here. I've been thinking about the DIY Dona, Black Canyon, Crown King, Whiskey Man, Man Against Horse, Big Pine, Flagstaff. So a DIY Dona as a race series. Nick, I think that since you threw that down in the chat, I think that has to happen now. I don't think that you can not give the viewers what they want. So if you know a guy who can get you into those races, I think we should definitely make this happen. And if you don't know that gentleman, I certainly might be able to have a word with him to get you into those races.
That is actually a fantastic idea. I like it. The DIY donut.
Yeah, and it's for those who want a
We got
series
Andrew
pass.
Bellis of the Bellis Brotherhood jumping in the chat saying Nick is a monster, and of course he absolutely is. Of course, Nick Coury is a complete beast. Lately, just podiuming some big things, and most recently winning yet another 24-hour race. So
Yeah,
shout
Nick,
out.
while we have you in the chat here, you've run some really hard races in the past. Can you give us any feedback as a high-level runner how you think Pete is looking right now as he makes his way towards the top of Eldon, which isn't the true summit on the race course? So, Nick, if you have any thoughts on how Peter is looking right about now in your eyes, we would love to hear from you in the chat.
Yeah. I'm so close to my house right now.
And Philip in the chat, and perhaps for the
I
film
definitely do.
and race crew, a Coke and Donut
Has it been affecting you much, or are you
250-meter
pretty-
race.
Pretty set.
Coke and
Yeah.
donut. That would be oh.
Coke and Donut, it's like a beer mile, except it's only 250
Yeah, doesn't really affect you as much.
meters.
Right on.
That would be pretty tough.
Well, I could make it 250 meters. I know
That would
that.
be slow. Like,
Yeah.
how would that work? Would you like run a little bit and get some soda and a donut, or is it pound it all and then run 250 meters? But 250
Oh yeah, they're all waiting for you.
crazy talk.
So would 250 meters be
Alright,
the
here we go
total
here.
race distance?
Take a break here. Yeah. Fuel up.
There we go. Got a nice clean visuals there on Peter Mortimer, our second place runner. Standing on home turf as he is getting ready to make his way up the Eldon Lookout Trail. He's at the junction for Fat Man's Loop and the Eldon Lookout Trail. This is what I was telling you about before. And if you look in the mid-ground right there,
It looks like, are these Peter's Bassets in the chat room?
Oh.
Can we let Peter know that Larry and Homer, his Bassets, are apparently tuning in and are sad they aren't getting to pace him on this last section?
You got Larry and Homer watching. Sad they can't pace you here.
Yeah. I don't think they'd make it on this mountain. They're my basset hounds.
Gotcha.
Oh, they are. Okay. I was like, are those the people that are?
Yeah, they're not the most athletic type.
I know those are people broadcasting. I was like,
Okay.
here we go.
And I believe, are they now on the Eldon
Now
Lookout
this is the
Trail?
beginning of the true beginning of the Eldon Lookout Trail. Again, there's like a mini like circumference trail called Fat Man's Loop, so loop trail, and you can come up from either side. I'm just going like this. I should just, well, I'm not gonna get off this visual, but anyway. So he came up on the clockwise direction, and then he hits that sign. You turn left, and you go up the Eldon Lookout Trail, and it's a steeper pitch at that point. And you'll see the vegetation really start to change pretty quickly. Like you still have some of that like higher desert plants right there, and before you know it, it's just ponderosa pines until like that top stretch near Sunset Connector where you get. We get some aspen. So again, we are looking at Peter Mortimer make his way up Eldon Lookout. Yeah, shout out to the chat is shouting out to Nolan, our cameraman who's following up Peter Mortimer on the trail.
Hey, MJ.
Great. Yeah. Oh, little bunny.
Rabbit?
Did you get that?
I think so.
We actually, while Peter takes a break, we're going to see if we could actually go over to Shelby for a little surprise gooder
good pace.
time. Let's see if we can get her feet up. She might be, I think I know where she is too. There's going to be some tough service in this area, but we'll give it a try. So we'll bring her up real quick before we go back to Peter. Let's see. Shelby, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Service is spotty though, heads up.
Well, we can see Shelby. Of course, audio's not clear. She's just going to keep smiling, and that is, of course, her husband. I know that fist in the air anywhere. That is Jason Gerhardt, full of positivity.
With a canned beverage.
Just crushing
Bang,
it.
baby!
Radical scattable.
Oh, we've got audio on you now. Tell us,
sweet,
tell us where
great.
you're at and how you feel. And again,
Ready.
yeah. So just by the looks of it, her audio is cutting in and out, and by the looks of where she's at, and also now confirming in the GPS, she is making her way toward the Kasner mountain climb, and that is that area of Sedona where it's just like outside of West Sedona that, again, is pretty close to the Secret Mountain Wilderness and the Sycamore Canyon Wilderness, so really not much of anything out there but beautiful views and amazing hiking opportunities.
Yeah, it's going to lead her up to the beautiful Coconino Plateau.
Yeah, she's going to go up this Kasner mountain climb. She's going to go up about like 6 or 7 switchbacks, and then, yeah, like you just said, top out, leave Yavapai County, go to Coconino County. But anyway, that was Shelby Farrell from Gooder. And of course, she is the media megalodon at Gooder, one of our amazing sponsors for this Cocodona 250 live coverage and the race itself. So Gooder has a great code for everybody. If you go to gooder.com/Cocodona and use the code COCOLOCO at checkout, you will be able to get 2 pairs of sunglasses and get the third 50% off. So
Yeah, we have someone in the chat who said with these sunglasses from our good friends at Gooder, we could easily take a nap. So
I actually like that. I am going to do that, and then we're going to keep that going. But we won't do it without bringing back Peter Mortimer's feed by way of Nolan. Let me just pull it up. They are so well polarized that I can't see my board, but that also could be for other reasons of bodily homeostasis. And here we are. We're back on Mount Eldon, making our way up there alongside Peter Mortimer.
Yeah, take that in. Beautiful.
And again, on this Thursday morning, barely 7 a.m., we're so thankful for almost 900 of you already starting your day out with us. Again, we already have the winner of the Cocodona 250. Michael Versteeg finished a little bit after
I never normally just stop.
5:47, I believe. Somewhere between 5:45 and 5:50. If you get a official clock time on that.
I figure if you're gonna run this many miles, they should stop there.
You should do it.
Yeah, dude.
Super Wily 10, yes, I would agree. I would agree with that. Is Eldon the biggest climb? It is not the biggest climb. Well, was it biggest as far as total vert gain or steepest grade? I think those are two.
it might not be either, though.
Why don't you tell us you're full of the?
No, I've done
as the
Humphrey a
Cocodona
few times, but I've
virtual
never been on Eldon.
race director.
So that's pretty cool.
I don't know what the steepest climb is based on grade, but I do know that there are a few others that are extremely steep, like sections of the Kasner climb, early parts of the climb
Oh, yeah.
up to Mingus Mountain, and then obviously the one we're looking at, the Eldon
Yeah, Humphreys is cool.
Lookout climb.
Every mountain out here, though, is
So I'm not 100%
Pretty
sure, but there definitely are
amazing.
some other steep ones on the course as well.
Nope. I gotta do that one soon. More runnable or what? Nice. Gotcha.
People are asking why the shades.
What, you for training?
Some people are asking why the shades. It's because we just checked in with Shelby Farrell from Gooder, and I did realize that Matt took his shades off, but I'm going to keep mine on for the style and the vibe because it is morning 4. Cocodona 250.
Yeah, and Philip in the chat, Eldon
the
is
highest
the highest point of
For
the course.
sure,
yeah.
it's the highest point.
Topping out at just under 9,200 feet when they get to the top of the race course here. So the race course does not summit Eldon here. It does kind of take a little veer off on a connector trail just below the summit.
Oh, yeah? I know we got Julian up there.
For those of you tuning in, this
So there'll
is
be a
your
party waiting
second
for you then.
place runner, Mr. Peter Mortimer, a Flagstaff native, on his home trails right now as he makes his way up Mount Eldon. He will then have, as his hat so aptly says, 8 miles to go to the finish in the heart of Flagstaff at Heritage Square.
We'll see if we can get a full picture on it. We'll take down that picture-in-picture feed. Anthony, can you help us out with that?
Really is a super nice day out.
Just starting.
Wind or anything.
Yeah.
Takes a lot longer than anything does.
You got plenty of water. I'm good.
Yeah, another one of these. I'm surprised they haven't drank this much. I had some wine last night.
We're taking a look at Peter Mortimer in incredible spirits as he climbs up the Eldon Lookout Trail to the high point on the course here. Again, just the race course here tops out just shy of 9,200 feet above the beautiful seas.
Somebody hiking.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Is that Valiant?
Hey, how are you?
What's up, man?
Good to see you. Dude. What you race today, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
He's in
Yeah.
second place.
Didn't know. Yeah.
250-mile race.
A 250-mile race.
Thanks, here, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Good luck to you. See you around. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't hear anything about the race. So.
It's first year, so
Okay.
yeah, next year.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah, I've been doing this one because Humphreys there's still snow.
okay.
So I was at Humphreys 2 days ago. And it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to get down.
Post-hauling and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. It's
But,
soft this time of year.
Yeah, but I think you're still number one. So.
Oh,
But good luck to you guys, okay?
Yeah,
Just take
see
care.
ya.
And there you have it, a little
that's awesome.
hometown love for the Flagstaff native himself, Peter Mortimer. And I'm sure that there are going to be people at the finish line awaiting one of their own as Pete continues
Oh,
to
yeah.
make his way.
He and I were battling out.
That's awesome.
I didn't know who he was, and then I met him on the mountain one day and started chatting. I haven't seen him in a long time. It didn't take long to warm up. I'm glad I'm doing this in the morning.
We are watching Peter Mortimer
This is brutal midday section.
Oh, I can imagine.
as he continues 240 plus miles into this race to climb up Mount Eldon. Only a sick man would make this a part of the race course 240 miles into the race.
The last guy.
Dax?
Yeah. Glad we battled it out there and not here. Because, that would have been the worst.
Would not be fun to push up this.
That guy is so fast and so strong. I was just not believe it. We were racing through Walnut Canyon after like 230 miles, just running as fast as we could uphill. And just,
That's crazy.
yeah, I bet. But I was determined because I chased him for 2 days trying to catch up to him.
Right, you might as well just go.
Yeah, but after I got him, I was like, am I gonna have enough energy still?
Right. Looking good.
I'm okay. Definitely made the stomach turn a little bit. You what? Okay. I think our chances are good.
Might want to make it a quick break up here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat some food and go.
Okay.
Can't
Probably.
get up here this quick.
No, I know.
Me too.
He gained 3 miles, though. So, yeah. Just so you know. No big pressure. Just keeping you informed.
And there you have it, actually. Peter Mortimer's pacer keeping him updated on Dax's location. I wonder if she is following the live tracker, or if she's following our wonderful audience here in the live chat, because we actually had that same comment in the live chat right about the same time there. And after we had Jeff Garmeyer pop in yesterday, nothing would surprise me anymore.
Picking the feet. Picking the feet up. Just picking the feet up's getting hard, or what? Yeah.
Chris in the chat wanting a Carrie Ward update. It looks like Carrie is at mile 183, so he is making his way over towards the Kasner climb to get up into Coconino County.
You sure?
Yeah.
Last time I was hard to get back up.
Oh, that's fine. Tired.
Not tired physically, tired from no sleep. Tired.
Yeah. This guy's making me nervous all of a sudden.
Is he moving?
Yeah.
Dax? Did you cross the 89 yet?
231. Yeah. No, not 89. No.
Okay.
He's at 241. Yeah, I guess it's just because we're going a lot slower right now.
Yeah, he'll
You're
slow
about-
down too,
yeah.
so that's gonna
You're
work
about
out.
4.5 ahead of him. You were 8.
Yeah. Even if we get to the top by the time he starts this,
That's true.
it'll take him at least,
That's
if he's fast, an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think you got him.
Yeah.
Some sort of turbo rocket down there on the map.
Yeah.
Good point.
You still got the foot thing now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
That's enough rest, right?
All the way to the top.
And again, for those of you just tuning in with us, thank you for joining us for this Day 4 coverage, or as I like to call it, Monday Part 4. It looks like our feed is cutting out a little, in and out a little bit here as we continue to grind up Eldon. Once Pete gets to the summit, or to the high point of the course, again, not the summit, he will only have 8 miles left, as his hat so aptly says.
Oh yeah.
That is correct, JB in the chat. Aravaipa After Dark and now the Aravaipa Sunrise sessions. Yeah, well, right now, in this coverage, they're all starting to blend together. So We may have Aravaipa After Dark during the middle of the day right now because we are going on 25 plus hours straight of coverage as we take a look here at Pete Mortimer. Pete, again, being a gentleman, making sure we have good views every time he stops for water, so we really appreciate that from Pete, letting us get some beautiful views as we go up Eldon here.
We're so close.
Yeah.
Just right there.
Look at that.
It's like right there, man.
It's so close. I can see it. Yeah, we could see lights up there this morning. Now it's all hot.
John Goss in the chat. The home stretch for a 250 miler is Mount Eldon. Jamil needs professional counseling for sure. You might not be wrong. Again, I think only a sick human would make runners climb Eldon this late in the race, and I'm sure we will hear from Jamil at some point as to whether he regrets putting Eldon so late in the race, as he is still continuing on his journey towards downtown Flagstaff and the finish line here. And it looks like Jamil, just so that we have an update on him, is right around the Cinder Pit aid station at mile 205, so up on the Cocodona Plateau. Somewhat smooth sailing from here for him until, of course, you get to this point at Mount Eldon, where, as we are watching Peter Mortimer climb, it is a punishing climb, especially this late in a race.
Just tired. Nothing looks the same.
Kind of mellowed out again up here too. For a minute.
You what?
It mellowed out again for a minute too.
Yeah. This is the steep part here.
I mean, it's all kind of steep.
Yeah.
But there is like one. There's a couple stretches of switch tracks that are nice.
Gotcha.
Trying to get fluids in.
Yeah. Stay on top of that.
And again, just magnificent views as you turn and look out over the landscape as we have Peter Mortimer making his way up Mount Eldon, a trail he is very familiar.
Yeah,
Climbing
40s
Eldon.
is what happens when you turn 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just start to shut down.
Can't do it anymore.
You gotta take breaks going up Eldon.
I've lost my
You're
touch.
so old.
Here, get my
Barely even
Like
stand
Sam
up. I mean, you have a cane next time. That's weird.
I already got a cane. Oh.
Yeah, there would have been a lot of carnage if this had ended coming down this.
Yeah.
That would have been a little crazy.
These door heads split open.
Oh yeah.
Some missing teeth.
Yeah, so for anyone just tuning in, we are looking at the great Peter Mortimer, the Flagstaff native on his home trails, climbing up Eldon. Rob, I know you were stepping out to handle some things there for a second. Peter Mortimer just referred to himself as, quote, Old Man Mortimer, trying to climb up Eldon.
Old Man Mortimer.
Yeah.
I have to disagree with that. He looks like spry young Peter making his way 240 miles into the race, just like cruising up his home mountain right there.
Yeah, so for people in our chat, people in our chat who are saying Maggie might be hitting this climb in some serious heat. So we are up at the town of Flagstaff sits at about 7,000 feet. The high in Flagstaff today is only 77 degrees. So it will definitely warm up, but you won't have the same type of heat that the runners experienced down in Sedona, I don't believe. Now, I could be wrong, and it could be brutal still.
It's making me look like really fast. Like you're sprinting.
Yeah.
Would have been fun to have a go up the slab route.
Yeah.
There's always next year.
Come on, Jamil.
Hey, he just stole the
Yeah,
words out of my
Riccardo.
mouth. There is always next year.
Knowing him.
Can you ask Peter if he will regret those words if Jamil does in fact add the slabs route to next year's route?
Yeah, we're just going on the sunset.
Yeah, that's right. And then across. That was pretty scary.
Thank you, Lynn, for that kind donation right there. We really do appreciate it.
Proud of you, Pete.
Thanks.
And again, we are looking at Peter Mortimer as he inches his way closer to the high point on the Cocodona 250 course.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good.
Pete again is looking really strong going up this climb, and most importantly is in really good spirits. And Jonathan in the chat, only 77? That's still hot when you've been moving for days. You are 100% correct. However, that is a much needed reprieve from the upper 80s the runners were experiencing down in Red Rock Country just hours ago. The temperature up here in Flagstaff, it's just not going to feel the same, although heat or no heat, this climb 240 miles in is definitely going to be punishing as runners continue to make their pilgrimage from Black Canyon City to the town of Flagstaff. Yeah, Gojar in the chat Gojar really only tunes in when we have a campfire, so I'm glad you're tuning in right now. Could you talk about Versteeg? Yeah, Versteeg finished a couple hours ago at this point. Maybe not quite 2 hours yet, but Michael did finish about 90 minutes or so ago and was the first ever finisher of the Cocodona 250.
Slight incline.
Just a tiny
It's a little bit of elevation.
And here we are looking at Peter Mortimer as he climbs up the Eldon Lookout Trail.
Can I make a quick phone call to work again?
No, I'm good. All my son's on that. I'll just call him on the way up.
That was funny. You were wanting to call him at 5 a.m. I'm like, teenagers don't get up at 5 a.m. And I was like, I think he might be a little tired.
Alex. Hey, man. No, 1 second. Alex, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
How long you been pacing?
Alex, can you hear me?
Just since Walnut Canyon.
Oh, right on. Nice.
Alex. Alex. Hey, can you hear me? Okay. What are you doing, man? Yeah. Have you been watching? You been watching?
Again, if you are just tuning in, we have Peter Mortimer, who was just trying to pull a little dad duty there and call one of his kids as he continues the climb up Mount Eldon. RJ, you can claim Peter. We might have to split time here with Peter. I know that he loves to rock the Union Jack on his hat. You can claim him as British, but he's definitely a Flagstaff native right now. So we are also going to claim Mr. Mortimer. So I hope that is okay with you. And we have Peter pulling some double duty right now, being a wonderful dad as well as a wonderful runner as he climbs up Mount Eldon. Truly amazing. And so it looks like Nick provided the chat with an update. Jamil is at mile 205, Cinder Pit, up here on the Coconino Plateau. Doing well, gonna take a little nap, which is probably much needed after getting up and over the Kasner climb. So Jam still pushing forward. And thank you so much for that update in the chat, Nick. Yeah, he is British, but he lives here in Flagstaff, so we are going to claim him. So I hope that it's okay if we split custody here on claiming Pete as our own. And again, you can see just how arduous this this climb is.
What do you think so far?
Dude, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Loving this.
Sweet in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our videographer right now, Nolan, is getting just a first-class tour of the Eldon Lookout Trail via the one and only Peter Mortimer.
think you've earned the right to say you're tired.
74 hours later.
80 or 74.
74, yeah.
76 maybe.
Yeah, I think so. It's 8 down, 3 running. That'll be faster than going up.
For those of you just tuning in, we are taking a look at Pete Mortimer, our second place runner right now in the Cocodona 250.
Got a flat section coming up.
You know, normally that's my line. And on this mountain, that doesn't exist.
You do, right? I know a while ago I was like, Mom, you said that like a mile ago.
Yeah. Everything's flat. You just tilt your head back.
Very true.
I'm just really hungry, I think. Gotta get one of those brats.
It's gonna be rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Again, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Peter Mortimer, second place overall, making his way up final sections of the climb up Mount Eldon. And we do see, turning to the chat, I do see a lot of requests for other coverage. Just going to be flat out honest with you folks. This is the only camera we've got now. We will try to bring as much coverage as possible. We are in the midst of going 26 hours straight right now. And we are just rolling with it, like so many of these amazing runners are. Oh, we know you're no one's Coyote. We're not even being defensive. We're just honestly on the fly, just like ultra runners out there, wondering if we're just glued to our seats too, or like we're just gonna keep watching this race unfold. So we're gonna go until we have no cameras left. And again, shout out to those that have been donating in the super chat. Most recently, Tracy C. Huge thanks.
For sure.
Okay, we're gonna give Peter his moment to himself.
Rob, I know that you've been handling some of the back end stuff here, and I think you were out for a second, but Peter, I believe, pulled some double duty while climbing up Eldon and called one of his kids.
Almost there.
Had a chat on the phone while he was going up Eldon.
Well, if you walk like me.
Did we get any word on what pep talk might have been?
I'm not sure, so he has it going through his headphones.
Well,
Peter had it going through his headphones, so I could hear Peter talking. But yeah, I think he was just checking in, and hopefully that was a good pick-me-up for him, because he is absolutely crushing it as he makes his way up the Eldon Lookout Trail.
and again, we are having questions about what is the donation money going to. It is going to support future live streams. We are, at least in the studio for this operation, a bit of a skeleton crew. Of course, we could not do it without our great volunteers in the field and our, of course, drone pilots. So it'll go to support future Steep Black Media Aravaipa Running live streams. And honestly, it's all appreciated. You know, we were making it our goal to make sure we got you at the very least first place all the way through the night, and we did. So now do have this great coverage of Peter, so we're going to stay on it as long as we can. And as soon as we lose it, we will probably wrap the stream because the runners are so spread out at this point, and then we will. You will have to stay tuned to our social media to see when we go on for occasional recaps and coverage as we go deeper and deeper into the days of this 6-day-long race. Yes, there will probably be a highlight reel. Probably in the week or two to come. It will take a lot of time to sift through all that footage, but we do have some ideas what some of the top moments were. I think overnight we did see some of the top moments. My favorite moment of the race from day 3 going into day 4 was the Jeff Garmeyer check-in via YouTube. He, for those of you who were not with us last night during the overnight hours, Jeff Garmeyer, the fastest known tiger, dropped in. All of a sudden, we were monitoring the chat like I am now, and I noticed it said Jeff Garmeyer, and he's like, "Yo, we're enjoying this coverage," and I'm like, that probably isn't a bot. That might actually be Jeff Garmeyer, and we confirmed. We got him on the phone. We got his video up, and we had a little trail talk. Couldn't see much of anything. He was in the middle of the night I don't want to say the middle of nowhere, but he was in the middle of the Ponderosa Pine Forest, so we just had a little bit of headlamp on the trail, but we had Jeff's voice, and he answered some questions for the fans live on air. So that was probably my fun surprise moment, because I'd say 80% of those things were not planned or scheduled.
And shout out to Michelle Shanklin in the chat with the donation. Michelle participates in a lot of our virtual events here, So I know that she just participated in Aravaipa Strong. So shout out to you, Michelle, and thank you so much for tuning in. And Michelle, during Aravaipa Strong, I believe, actually ran with her dog at the Grand Canyon, if I'm not mistaken. Again, we've been live for 4 days now, so I could be mixing that up, but I'm pretty sure that was Miss Michelle. So shout out to you, Michelle, for tuning in, and thank you for participating in our virtual events.
Yeah, again, thank you so much. We'll have Nolan just pan out to show us some of that view while we give Peter some time to take this moment in for himself.
And I was correct about Michelle, so my brain is still functioning at some form of a level off of very limited sleep. So. And then shout out to Eric in the chat for the donation, and thank you all for tuning in as we are following our second place runner, Mr. Peter Mortimer.
And yeah, let us know in the chat, what was your favorite moment of the race so far? I'd say my second is the whole promise we've made to Stefan Claus. You will, by the way, Matt, have to bring him milk and cookies.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
we
make
may
that
or may
happen.
not be able to get that on air, given the
maybe I'll be able
quickly
to
diminishing video team out there as the days stretch longer than
maybe
we
a
had
little
planned.
Instagram live. I'll have to
there we go.
I'll have to reach out to Miss Jen Laughlin, our head of all things social, or our sharer of all things social, to see if we can get an Instagram live up there. And I know a little bit earlier we had someone in the chat asking for an update on Drew Fraze. So looks like Drew is at about mile 211, so still moving forward, just ahead of our good friend Stefan Fiendero, the youngest runner here in the race, and they are moving towards the Fort Tuthill aid station. Jesse Morton Langhow also right around that area with them. Oh, and we got Stefan's brother, Mario, in the chat. Mario, do you know how long Stefan is planning to be up in Flagstaff after he finishes? Is he going to be staying the night? Is he immediately leaving? Can we get an update? Because I definitely need to coordinate getting myself to Flagstaff to make sure I have milk and cookies. Maybe even, Rob, in like a nice red felt bag for Mr. Stefan. Or, you know, I need to up the
Matt,
presentation in
you
some
are the one
capacity
adding
here,
all
so.
these fine details, which I like, because we
I'm
do
just
have
an ideas guy.
big attention to detail here, but you're going to have to work that one out yourself. I don't know, we're going to find a felt bag in May, a Santa theme bag.
Maybe they'd be on sale right now.
There we go.
See?
Very economical thinking.
A little bargain buyer over here. As we take a look at Pete Mortimer enjoying his trek up the Meldon Lookout Trail. Still in good spirits and crushing it. Awesome. Yeah, Mario, if you can keep me posted, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Should we give him your email so we could definitely make those milk and cookies?
Yeah, actually, can you seriously, Mario, can you shoot me an email, matt@aravaiparunning.com? Because we are definitely going to coordinate this.
We're going to deliver.
I am planning on going up to Flagstaff tomorrow with my family. So shout out to my wife, who has been watching my kids for the past few days. But yeah, we will be taking a family pilgrimage up to the majestic mountain town of Flagstaff, Arizona. But I want to make sure that I'm up there to give Stefan his milk and cookies and to see some of these other amazing runners come in to the finish. And hopefully, at the very least, I will get a little fist pound. And my wife is in the chat, so shout out to Renee.
Oh, was that? Yeah, there she is right there.
She is one of the many MVPs of making this happen, having taken care of the kids nonstop for the last 4 days. Naomi, so milk and cookies because of his age. Now, so Stefan has been running the entire race with a Santa hat on. The same Santa hat as well.
And again, a huge shout out to, we're getting more and more super chat donations coming in. Thank you to Mary R. James Kelly, who I believe ran the race, unless I am misremembering that. James Kelly, I believe, towed the start line at Cocodona 250. Thank you to Shelley Brown and Jennifer Talbot. We really appreciate it.
Just another quick update. It looks like Trevor Metting is making his way into the Fort Tuthill aid station as we speak. There's a little bit of a gap, but Taylor Spike is moving down that way, as well as Jesse Alexander and Mark Vogel. So all of those runners are within about 5 miles or so of the Fort Tuthill aid station.
And right now we're going to quickly switch over to an aerial view. We're got a drone pilot now up out there. He seems to be on the hunt for Dax, I believe. So when we get eyes on Dax, we'll try to cut back to that feed, but right now we'll take it back to that rest of that grind of a climb up Mount Eldon.
An update on the women's field as we are watching Mr. Peter Mortimer climb his way up Mount Eldon. We do have Maggie Gutero in first at about mile 223, leading the charge for the women. Looks like Jessie Morton-Langhow in second at mile 211.5. And then Dawn Greenwalt, the Flagstaff native who has been running strong for such a long time now, is at mile 206.7. So that's your top 3 women. Actually, let's go back to the top 5 here.
Eldon.
Why not? Because we've got Sarah O as the 4th woman right now, I do believe. And she is with Mika Thews.
Sweet.
You might make it.
No, I haven't. Heard all about it, though.
Yeah, so you can get a free pizza if you're there already.
Sweet.
At the towers.
Looks like he's getting a lot of beta from these Flagstaff locals. And when I say he, I mean Nolan is getting a lot of good advice about the spots to hit up when in Flagstaff.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan is getting just a personal tour of the Eldon Lookout Trail here.
I know. From none other than
Peter Mortimer.
Peter Mortimer.
You know, and if Pete wants an additional business endeavor, maybe Pete's Tours could be a Flagstaff small business operation. Yeah, so we've got hashtag Pete's Meats from
Mortimer.
Chris. Ooh, Tortimer. I like that. There we go.
That's what his company could be.
How is your brain still functioning at this high of a level right
I can
now?
do like marketing ideas. I can't do math without the sleep, but I could come up with like branding stuff without sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he can call the company, Tortimer, and it would be Tours with Peter Mortimer.
And the hashtag would be hashtag Pete's Tours, at least for Chris Worden.
Yeah.
Who
there we
has
go.
been
So we'll see if
hashtagging-
that becomes a thing. Sure.
I mean, the hashtag Pete's Meats is in the chat, and the big reason for that is Pete is a big meat eater, apparently, according to the insight we've gotten from Chris Worden. Eats a bit of bacon and other animal delicacies at aid stations. Ultra Dead. Question is, what will we do after this is over? Well, I think that for the runners and the broadcast team, I think it's going to be sleep.
Yep.
Is probably on the menu for most of us. I can't speak for each runner, but I can speak for our team here. I think sleep is on the menu for us. As far as the viewers, I don't know, but hopefully we'll be able to bring you some more live coverage of Aravaipa events in the near future. And there you are starting to see the towers, which are the towers are at the summit, I believe, of Mount Eldon. Is that correct, Rob?
Say that again.
The towers are at the summit of Mount Eldon?
Yes, those are the fire towers that are at the summit.
Yeah, so the race course won't quite go all to the way to the summit. You'll
What's up?
What do you think of this one?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back.
A little different than Humphreys, right?
Yeah, definitely different.
More bouldery.
Yeah.
Ultra Dad, I've got Cruel Jewel 100 next week. As a former Georgia resident, good luck with Cruel Jewel. I've been on sections of that course exploring North Georgia, and
definitely liking it so far.
That's a big undertaking, so shout out to you and good luck with that as we tune in and listen to Mr. Peter Mortimer.
Flying up this thing, dude.
You may have missed, but it sounded like he stopped to give another bit of local advice.
Well, he asked how this was.
Mortimer company.
Yeah, he asked how this experience
really
was compared to
guy.
Humphreys.
He's super friendly guy.
Humphreys is still a bit snow-socked, it sounds like, from one of our Flagstaff locals that Peter was able to chat with on the trail. You know, Peter being a Flagstaff resident now, he's going to be seeing a lot of people out here, I'm sure, that he knows and that are big Peter Mortimer fans.
Yeah.
And again, the gentleman that is Peter Mortimer showing some wonderful trail etiquette, even if he has the right of way, letting the citizens of Flagstaff pass him as they come down the trail. So stepping off the trail and letting the locals through. What a guy. Awesome, and it sounds like Ultra Dad is on the way with Ryan Clayton. So, yeah, speaking of Ryan Clayton, I know that we had a big debate last night about the Purdue Boilermakers after our very own Chris Worden, who studied at IU for a little bit, threw some shade towards the Boilermakers. So, shout out to Ryan Clayton and all the Purdue alum out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, several more Super Chat donations came in. Thank you, John, Jacqueline, Sandra, Joseph, and Mile62. Of course, Jeff Bailey. I might have missed a few, so I'll just risk repeating it, as well as Philip Bondra. Thank you all so much. And yes, well, Matt, I am floored right now.
Yeah.
We on YouTube alone, we are approaching 1,100 continual viewers around the world, and I could not be more thankful that you guys are choosing to spend your Thursday morning with us here.
Yeah, and hopefully seeing the beauty that Arizona has to offer, you will want to come and visit and maybe take this on yourself one day. Yeah, Dan, it would be really awesome to be able to cover more of the field. Unfortunately, we are limited with the number of volunteers we have to film here. So next year our plan is hopefully to be able to give you 125 straight hours of coverage so that we can share all those stories. But we will need everyone's help. So if you are interested in volunteering for next year's event, please email Rob at aravaiparunning.com so we can start lining up these film crews for next year so that we can provide you with more coverage of people regardless of where they're at. You know, we want to cover the mid and front and back of the pack all the same. Men or women, everyone out there is crushing it. So we just are gonna need to get more people involved next year to up our game.
Absolutely. And it'll probably be a little bit before we start planning that because we are still in the middle of this one, at least for the race.
Yeah, no, we're not ready.
Yeah, our original plan was, again, those were based off those split times, which we've covered endlessly. We're based on Versteeg's time, over 13 hours off our split time.
He's still alive.
For finish prediction.
He's been actually pretty strong the whole time. There was a few moments where I was like, oh, but.
Actually, let's listen in for a sec.
And it's so amazing.
So amazing. So many more.
Cool. Yeah, I was really hoping when I checked this morning that I could pass you up here, so or see you. So.
Are you going to get a free pizza?
No, there's pizza up
Pizza
there?
Cleta does like a free pizza on Eldon. Yes, I think you have to be at the towers at 8. So.
Oh really?
Get a free pizza.
Oh, we're hearing there's apparently pizza at the summit, courtesy of Pizza Cleta.
All right, man. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Looks like Caitlin Mills is trying to find a crew to help. Oh, rim to rim. Great route. The question is, do you plan on starting on the South Kaibab or the North Kaibab Trail? Of course, the South Kaibab is more accessible. It's open year-round, so I would assume it would be that if you're planning on an October start, which is a smart time to do that, especially late October.
Now, Rob, is someone familiar with this trail? Do you know about where Pete's at and when he's gonna hit kind of that turn off?
Yeah, the Sunset Connector Trail. So he's at the part of the trail that you think you're almost there, but you're not. It's my least favorite part. No, actually, I'm trying to get a better read. He actually is on the Sunset Connector right now.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm just messing around with you.
That
there are the San Francisco peaks right there.
That explains why it's not quite as punchy of a climb right now.
Yeah. And this is the area, if you were watching that Steep Life vlog. Oh, actually, is that a rock or is that a little bit of snow remaining? Yeah, I think that's... Let's get a better read. Wait till we go past. There you go. Yeah, see, I told you there would be a little bit of snow there. This is exactly what we were talking about. It's a wise move right there. Oh, and I love that comment from Clayton. It's amazing that he got to watch that coverage of Versteeg finishing with his daughter. Thank you for the donation. And the same goes to Sandra Scott. We really appreciate it.
And as a father of a 2-year-old daughter, his daughter said he's going to be tired. Yeah, I think she is probably right. It's funny the things that little kids say when they starting to develop their speech.
Yeah, so again, this is that section. If you were watching that Steep Life vlog on Jamil's Run Steep Get High channel,
the curve being tall.
They were we'll wait for we had the obstacle in the way, changed the orientation of our filmer, but it's all good. It's all with the flow. That's part of the course. They get a little downhill right here.
And once they get to the Sunset Trail, that's going to be a little bit smoother going compared to the Eldon Lookout Trail, I do believe.
That's correct.
Yeah, me too. I went in to visit him and he was on his big rocking trip. Yeah.
But yeah, I keep saying, just a few weeks ago we had proof that there was a ton of snow on that section where we saw just a little bit of snow there before they ducked under that fallen ponderosa pine tree. There was actually a ton of snow, like you were post holing out to your knees. It was like a steep slope. Usually the sun, it takes a bit, usually into like June sometimes, for the snow to be fully gone, because there's not enough direct sunlight that gets to that area, just based on the bend in the trail. And again, if you're joining us, we do now have a new feed up. We're going to take it, and again, it looks like we might be in an area where that cell coverage is just cutting in and out. I'll try to get a word from Tony on what he is searching for. I think he might be going after either, maybe it's Dax, or maybe he's deeper in the pack and he's going, see if he can get eyes on Maggie. But either way, we'll take it back to... Got it. Yeah, so Tony is out looking for Dax. Let's see if we can get that feed a little cleaner. Again, it's probably out of our control based on the location. Nonetheless, we do have confirmation from the field that Dax is on the move, but so is Peter Mortimer, and that's what we're looking at right now. So he's going to come out. It's going to open up. The aid station is very close. You should be able to see it pretty soon when we come around this bend. Yeah, Matt, the original plan was to cut the feed at noon, and that would actually have been in the end of the full coverage. But that was also, we thought the split would be 60. However, they are so spread out, so I think we might hang on Peter's feed for a little bit and see what we can get out of the drone, and then we might have to take a break, and you'll have to follow us on... Follow the Cocodona Instagram to get an update on when we go back live. We will have sporadic, smaller windows of coverage after this, now that we have kind of hit that 72-hour window, which is all we were really prepared
to deliver to you.
for, but that's kind of the way we'd set it up, because our goal was year 2, we'd lean heavily into the 125 hours. I think we're leaning at about 90 hours
so cool.
to almost 100 hours of coverage so far. So
yeah.
Nope. Probably closer to 80s, high 80s or 90s. Again, Matt, you got to stop me doing the math on air. I'm going to become an internet meme, man.
Yeah, you probably are. But you probably deserve to become a meme after pulling the all-nighter here and giving us this great coverage. And so, yeah, you can see Peter here has topped out at the high point on the course pretty much. There might be a little incline here as he starts to hit the Sunset Trail. But for the most part, it is all downhill from here, Rob.
It is. It's a nice cruise down the road onto the Eldon Trail. He's going to go through Buffalo Park, cross over Turquoise Drive, go up and over Hospital Hill, and then make a left down Beaver Street.
Another good hike. Over there is
And a couple more turns will bring him into Heritage Square.
Okay.
Top notch.
Yeah. Can you connect these two?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like we're on Sunset, so you can go up Hart, and you can kind of see the switchbacks over there.
Right.
Where the red is, and then
Okay, yeah.
and then you can take Sunset. You can do either way. Then it's a big loop.
That'd be a sweet loop.
And Mr.
Definitely running
Mortimer
that.
is just providing the viewers with some free
ultra
tours.
running. I just ran my first 92K. Really? Yeah. Yep.
I bet that was Whiskey Basin. There's very
That was a
few
good one.
92Ks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
It was rough towards the final 20 miles because that was all new territory for me, but it was a pretty good time, and I was super stoked to finish. So, looking forward to my next race. Thank you.
Which one are you going to do next?
Happily 100.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get that 100 off the list.
Those.
Yeah. Figured the loops would be good for first 100.
That's how I started. Most of my first ultras were. I started like branching out.
Oh, right on. How long have you been ultra running?
2014. Roughly.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. You're already running 250. You're nuts, dude.
My fourth 200 plus race.
You're a badass.
Might have eyes on Dax, but again, we'll see if we can get a clean feed so we can see him.
Every year I just have the hardest thing I can find.
Matt, can you pull up where Dax might be specifically on the course? Because if we're near that...
Damn straight.
But, yeah, it's not easy.
Can't imagine.
I didn't know how I do this.
Yeah, look at that.
It looks like he, according to this, let me get a refresh here, if I can. Yeah, he has crossed Highway 89 and is getting ready to
breakfast claw.
continue down the Eldon Lookout Trail, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
He is currently on the Fat Man's Loop.
So?
Again, as it gets windier as we come over this section, we might cut in and out of our feed. We'll stick with it for a little bit here.
I have no manners. I love this is about me.
Almost there. I can stop and put some snow on my hat face. 8 more miles.
He is rolling into the Eldon aid station.
What's that? 10 more feet. I don't know if I can make it.
And there you hear the cowbell Peter Mortimer, our second place runner right now, has made it to the Eldon aid station. And it looks like our feed is going to be cutting in and out a little bit here, but we'll try and stay with you.
What's up, Julian?
you, man.
How you doing?
Hey, you. How are you?
What's up? Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you too, man.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
What do we have, Mr. Pete?
See what his
enjoying here?
choice was.
See, this one you're not feeding well, so I gotta bake from the hands for you. The camera's in the sun, so the lighting's really tough. See, now you don't make it to Bitch's Irish dinners. Here's a recipe for Irish potatoes. Rosemary, garlic. Reheat it up and make it grease. Get on the bacon.
Well, great news is it's like mostly all downhill after this. Yeah.
All downhill.
He's going with the
What was
classic
it like having that at this point in the race?
bacon
What
and
was it like
potatoes,
having
I
that at
think.
this point in the race?
Yeah, which is where the hashtag Pete's Meats comes from. But we may need to be changing that to hashtag Mortimer.
Yes, because we have
after that
seen
lovely tour our good friend Nolan got up the Eldon Lookout Trail.
Because I don't want. I raced Dax in Walnut Canyon just so I could get second. Yeah.
He's like 4.5 miles behind you.
I know. I'm gonna have a quick claw on and head down.
And we have confirmation that is a White Claw, and as the viewers well know, there are no laws when you're drinking claws, so we know that Mortimer, Mr. Pete, is going to skull this claw and then keep it moving.
Yeah, and I think we're actually getting the story of two claws. There's Stefan Claus and Peter Claus.
Two
but they're
very different claws
very different
as
claws.
well. One is able to enjoy a claw, while the other one, being only 20,
Well, the other
is
one's
unable.
got some milk and cookies, I think, headed his way.
He does. He does surely have some milk and cookies heading his way.
I wonder if these runners, if they can hear us. They're probably sick of our commentary at this point. I'm sure we'll hear about it, or maybe it'll be the new norm. We're not sure. We know the fans are digging it, but it'll be interesting to hear in the days and weeks ahead in a post-Cocodona world, which, again, I think we're still a few days away from living in. So we are embracing ourselves fully in this moment.
Yeah, that's right.
The inaugural Cocodona 250.
Yeah, no, she just loves everything.
And that view that you just saw was, again, a view of the Mount Eldon summit.
It's like, I don't care if you ran 250 miles. I still want someone to pet me. Where's Larry and Homer? Daisy was loving Larry and Homer.
Did you eat a White Claw?
Did you want some too?
Some fries?
Bacon or potatoes?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Try the mimosa.
Yeah, I'll take a mimosa. Sure.
He's saying you should try the potatoes. They kept talking about hashtag Pete's Meat while you guys were ascending on the backside. I guess
Got
Chris
11
kept,
miles of Pete's Meat.
I guess Chris kept doing hashtag Pete's Meat.
And we have just gotten confirmation that the good folks at the Eldon Aid Station are tuning into the live coverage.
They must be tuning in.
So hopefully we aren't annoying the aid station volunteers here.
Yeah, Sasha said you've been
I think
hanging
they're
out
loving
with
it.
Trayer quite a bit these days.
I know.
Those that's sweet, isn't it?
I want to get one of those so bad.
I couldn't believe how.
And again, the big question now we are still getting in the chat is, will Versteeg meet the Suns? that's still a developing story here. We're gonna have to we will follow up on that. That one might take a lot of legwork, but
I think that we're going to be able to make something happen, though.
Try it. See what we can do.
I think we're going to be able to make something happen either in the current times or in the post-COVID era that we hopefully find ourselves in sooner rather than later.
Still running? Not this past like month. Yeah. Dude, come on. That's pretty doing pretty good for a while. You know, work got a little busy. And then I got my first shot 3 weeks ago. And I just like took that week off. It's like, man. Yeah. And the second week I got into it again. And then got my second one this Monday. So awesome, man. And I'll probably start up again.
Do you want a rag to wipe your face off with? No, it just feels good. Because, like,
Clean your
face.
face. We were thinking about bringing a razor up here. That way you started off all grizzly and then you arrive clean shaven. First order.
You know, like one of the things that caught like after the ultra, like I'll go for like a weird but like I'll look in the mirror and I'll just hate the way I look, so I always just shave it. And then like 20 minutes later I'm like, oh my god. I made a rule and never do that again. No, don't worry about it.
Hey, Odin, no. Tiny dog.
Odin wants to go with Pete's backpack on the
Yeah. You want another pacer?
Huh?
Tiny pacer?
Yeah.
We can just throw him in your pack with you and he can give you pep talk.
It was really funny. I was like,
All right, looks like we lost the feed up on Eldon, but again, that is not surprising because it was getting a little windy up there, and of course the cell coverage once you start to get up into the mountains is spotty at best. So right now we'll give you a update on the iPad. Take a look at the tracking. Matt's gonna.
Yeah, so as you just saw, Peter Mortimer, a.k.a. Tortimer, at this point, after the wonderful tour he was able to give our filmer up the Eldon Lookout Trail. We just saw him at the aid station. Let me refresh this. And it looks like Dax Hawk is just a few miles behind, but again, I know there's been a lot of chatter in the chat. Yeah, he's about 3.5 miles back or so. But you have to remember, Dax has not hit the grueling climb that is Mount Eldon yet, which will certainly slow him down as Pete meanders down the mountain. So keep that in mind. And then as we scroll back here, looking for third place. Did I miss third place here? Let me get that off the screen. Or fourth place, rather. It looks like Whit Weisbrom, who is currently, I believe, at the Walnut Canyon aid station. Yes, as of 4 minutes ago. So Whit has been there for a little bit, so he may just be taking his time and rejuvenating a little. And then from Whit, we go back to Joshua Locke, then Bib 22, Todd Bachman, before we find our first woman, Miss Maggie Gutero, back at mile 225.7. She is moving nicely on her way towards Walnut Creek, or Walnut Canyon rather, as she makes her way towards the Walnut Creek and further on to the Walnut Canyon aid station. Then back here at Fort Tudhill, looks like Trevor Meddings tracker has not updated in quite some time. Had Maggie's updated in a while. Yes, Maggie's has updated sooner, so we will try and see what's going on with Trevor Medding's tracker there. And then we've got Mark Vogel, Taylor Spike, and Jesse Alexander all right there. And let's just check in on our top 3 women. We've got Jessie Morton Langhow in second. Stefan Fiandero, which means Drew Fraze is just ahead of Jessie Morton Langhow there. So want to give him a shout out. And then we have Dawn Greenwald as the third woman. So there is a little bit of an update on kind of where our leaders are, and if we want to round out the top 5 women here. Oh, we do have a Jam sighting here. He is at Cinder Pit. Again, Nick chimed in earlier and said he was going to have a little bit of a rest. So he is probably just getting revitalized there at Cinder Pit. And what place does that put him in? It looks like the top 15 or 20. And we've got Jose Sosa making his way down to Cinder Pit as well. So shout out to Jose. And let's see here.
Yeah, so that's what it's looking like right now. And you know what? The runners are just so spread out at this point. Did you think it was going to look like that on day 4? Did you think there would be some tighter groups, even, across back? And we know there are runners all over the place. But as far as the live stream goes, we just don't. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We just do not have the amount of people that we need on the ground to even come close, or the people here to be able to cover the entire race and the entire group, I should say, the entire pack. We're just going to keep going until we don't have anything left, and we have a couple cameras still out there, so we're going to see and get those feeds, but we are closing in on our original stop dead time. We have a couple hours to go before we hit that, our original time before the race started. I mean, we're still working on it. Honestly, it's we're just
yeah. I mean, right now we just don't have any camera feeds, so we're trying to keep you all as updated as we can without boring you to death.
And we're gonna continue to hang out in the chat here. I know that is one of the things that a lot of our viewers are most fond of. The thing is, for those of you that are newer to the coverage and haven't been with us for the last few days, this race, one of the big takeaway stories of this race is the idea, or the prediction rather, was that we thought the winner was going to come through in around 60 hours to Flagstaff. The actual prediction was sub 60, and that was honestly an honest prediction that I think is still possible in a course like this, but the conditions between obviously there are a lot of climbs, but it was designed to be a challenging course. It was just really hot, even for early May.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I think, a much bigger undertaking than anyone expected.
And of course, that finishing time ended up being closer to the 73-hour range. So. Yeah,
over 72 hours was the finish time of our winner and the first ever finisher of the Cocodona 250, Mr. Michael, the Whiskey Man Versteeg.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool. We obviously talked to his mom, and it was cool to see that she came all the way down from Reno, I think she said. So she was
shout out to
stoked.
Mama Versteeg.
You might have missed some of the intel. That's right, because Matt took a well-deserved break last night, and you missed some. I remember I had a list of super interesting things that we discovered. Things there's just we didn't have much camera feeds, of course, as the day went on, as the light diminished. But we were talking with, I believe, Ali on our documentary team about any intel. Your stomach is growling there, buddy. You need some aid.
I need
That
to
was
hit,
too loud
I
not
need to
to
hit
talk
my
about.
own personal aid station soon, I think, to finally get
Oh,
some
we get
proper
the tired
food.
giggles. But no, seriously, we were talking to Allie Mack, and she said, "Oh, I was like, is there anything interesting you captured? What was your favorite moment that you got on camera?" She said, "Oh, well, there was a moment at Crown King, so mile 37 on Monday." She said Michael Versteeg came in, and someone handed him a shot of whiskey, and his mother was there, and he did it, and she was not happy with him. And we asked her about it, and she laughed, and she confirmed that that did indeed happen. So apparently, that may or may not be. We'll see. Will it make the feature-length cut of the documentary, or will it be part of the director's cut? We'll have to see. We'll have to wait in the
Only
weeks and
time
months
will tell.
ahead. Only time will tell. But yeah, I think that was probably the two big moments, of course, surprise moments of the
Was
coverage from last
the
night.
whiskey shot that was, and the check-in with the eye of the tiger, Jeff Garmeyer.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking how many times we're gonna talk about the fastest known tiger. He even referred to himself as he was like, "Yo, it's." He signed his message, even though his name said Jeff Garmeyer in our YouTube chat. That comes up on my screen. He then signed it fastest known tiger. So it's for a reason. And actually, I think we've got Nolan back up and running on Mount Eldon. Let's bring him up. It looks like we will continue here. Looks like one of the aid station workers just gave Peter Mortimer a bow of respect. And as they should, because he is cruising it on home turf here. He's got about 4 miles and change to go to downtown Flagstaff, where he will then earn himself a podium spot as the number 2 overall at the Cocodona, the inaugural Cocodona 250. I'm curious in the chat, as our feed cuts out again, like it's going to up on top of on a pretty much near a mountain summit. I'm looking at the chat here. This is more like doing some market research. We do appreciate all of the compliments that we've received over the last like 80 plus hours of coverage and tuning in with you in the chat. You say you do love the coverage. I'm curious, what is your favorite element of this kind of coverage? Is it the commentary? Is it communicating with the chat live and then kind of bringing them into the race? Or is it just being able to sit back and like witness this? Is it getting those good shots, which are hard to get a lot of the time? A lot of things need to work out as far as you need to have filmers in the right place. You need to make sure that what if another example is Michael Versteeg. The good thing is by the time he finished, of course you were here for that, the sun had just come up. Like that was an example of things working out for the shot. But then of course you have all of that all the service poles in Flagstaff then creates a shakiness in the shot. So like our feed starts to cut as more and more people get there, and at least that's what I'm told from our TD. And I probably like didn't say that accurately, but again. Oh, actually, I see Jeff Roast in the chat. Yeah, and then or is it just seeing this whole thing unfold, this new race, and the fact that there was 170 plus runners towing the start line? I'm just curious what it is really, or what you didn't like. Just let us know. Always looking to make things better here. We could take it. I like to think we've got thick skin, so if there's good stuff, there's bad. The good, the bad, the ugly, as they say. So anyway, with that, I'm going to go take it over and see if anybody else has some requests to get updates on their runners via our tracker here. So we'll wait for some bib numbers to pour in. So we want some updates on seeing bib number 24, of course. Matt will get some of those
Yeah,
up.
let's pull up bib 24 here. Wait, bib 24 is the Tiger King himself.
Oh, of course.
Jeff Garmeyer.
The Tiger King.
So he is past the Cinder Pit aid station. I'm not sure if we misread that. If we misread that, I'm seeing Stefan England. He's at mile 182. So he is, I believe, at the Black Tank aid station, starting to make his way up the Kasner climb. 113 and 55. 113 is one of our favorites, Noel Kingston, who helps put on the events as part of Aravaipa crew. He's at miles 172.7 here. So, yeah, he is still moving forward. That means he is out of the Sedona aid station and making his way to Huntley Tank, which he is closing in upon. Bib 55, mile 186.9, Mr. Thor Johansson. That means he is climbing up Kasner right now. Stephen England, I don't know if we looked Mr. England up or not, but he's at mile 182. If I did not look that up. Edward Souza, bib 76. He's at mile 161.6, so he is rolling into the Sedona aid station. Yet Nicole Ederle is not bib number 24. She is bib number 26. She is at mile 196.1, which I believe is right around the Turkey Butte aid station. Then we will look at just a couple more here. Bib 14 and 65. Bib 14, Miss Jody Seminelli. Or Seminel, sorry. She's a mile 182.4, so again, right around that Black Tank aid station. And bib 65, Scott Ramey, again, also mile 186, so I believe that is also in between Black Tank and Turkey Butte. And so we are just still trying to see if we get any more feeds here. We don't currently have any more footage, but you were looking right now at
I think this is actually a good time to
the leaderboard there.
Bring up again for those of you. I know we have a lot of new fans in the room. We are now going to bring up our Cocodona Origins miniseries as a refresher for where all of these runners have been coming from. So right now, we're going to replay and my eyes cannot read the buttons at this point. I think people are just enjoying the immersive experience of the aid, the carnage right here that is ensuing.
Yeah, I'm
sure people are laughing it up, enjoying it. So we're gonna fire up one of the Cocodona Origins episodes, and we'll be right back. But our tech director left, so I think we're just gonna be chatting it up. We'll just take the questions. It said false alarm. Learn to pivot. No, we're honestly gonna probably ramp down the coverage on schedule today, and then see how things go. I mean, this race is so spread out. It's such an epic. I can't wait to see the documentary. That's for sure. Because we're gonna all the things that we didn't get to see. We probably didn't see that much. It looks like we have a food delivery
my
again.
goodness.
We called in aid.
Our mobile
and here
aid
it is.
station here.
We're both about to DNF, by the way, and we still may. But I think we're. We've journeyed so far. Apparently, we got an order of vegan donuts that I can't even open the box for. So
Yeah, just rip it open. At
our
this
friends
point, I
at
don't
MedStar
think the
Solutions
chat
will be coming in and checking my standards because I can't open the box. So what am I digging into? This looks like a sugary vegan donut. We were looking at the broadcast aid station camera right now. And yeah. It seems like they're not minding us just is this potentially the first Java Jabronis podcast?
This is the first Java Jabronis podcast, I do believe. And
we had so much pre-recorded coverage, and we blown through it, and then stayed on the air twice as long, and the race is still going on. That is just a perspective of how big and epic the Cocodona 250 is.
yeah, and I think that Michael Versteeg and all the runners out there deserve us to eat these donuts live on the race coverage here. I do believe.
Too much in the microphone, but then we can get some. Oh, the another hashtag that was trending last night that you missed was people were loving because our filmer had his volume on, of course, so he can hear us when he was following Michael Versteeg up the climb, and then so all you heard was just like Michael breathing and then just trail, his
Just trail magic,
crunching,
trail music.
crunching on the trail. And we started the hashtag trend. It was Cocodona ASMR. You probably can't even hear me right now because my microphone was up there. But the hashtag that trended with those silent runner views, or we were silent and we just let let Michael Versteeg hike up Eldon. It was Cocodona ASMR.
Well, now we're about to give you some like authentic aid station.
Yes. It looks like people are really getting excited about
eat
this.
them now,
And this
Thomas
is,
Becker in all caps. Eat them now.
There are still people staying strong. We have 1,000 people tuning in for what we're now going to call the new segment coming in at 8:35.
Put the donut in your face.
No, this is the Cocodona.
This is the Cocodona. I'm literally crying laughing.
Update, Matt and I might be losing our jobs. No, all kidding aside. This is literally, we've had the camera panned on athletes for the last... What's the other time? We should bring the full cam in. We had the camera panned on athletes for the last 80 hours straight. We're laughing so hard. This is we're turning the lens back on ourselves. We were looking for we were like, what goes beyond breaking the fourth wall? It's turning the camera back on yourself. In the times of carnage, we are laughing so hard. I have tears running down my face. People tuning in right now are like, why is this trending on YouTube?
But anyways, at the request of our audience, donut to the face. Now, you can't get coverage like this anywhere else, I don't think. I think we can definitely say that now.
Massive drop-off. Timeout. Massive drop-off did not occur. We just skyrocketed back over 1,000 with the new hashtag Cocodona. So we're going to have our Aravaipa artwork team work on the Cocodona merch for...
for the Java Jabronis podcast.
Oh, man.
But in all seriousness, what is the last live event broadcast you saw where the commentary team laughed so hard they cried?
It was probably the guys in dodgeball. This is quite the bold move.
All right. Enough laughter. I really need this donut, as you could tell from my tummy grumbling a little bit earlier.
We have 1,000 people demanding Cocodona merch. If that's not market research, you never know what's going to work. I mean, we got the Cappuccino Cowboys knockoff from obviously the Coconino Cowboys. So maybe the Cocodona is the knockoff of our own our own race. We do have a merch division downstairs that could make all that stuff in house. So if you're just tuning in, we just got aid. we just got our crew just gave us our drop bags.
Someone in the chat just waiting for someone to snarf coffee out their nose.
I actually stopped drinking coffee hours ago, so my heart was just like, yo, this is not right. No, but all kidding aside, it's just this race is too epic to pull away from. And honestly, we're just kind of bringing in like the mountain outpost style of things right now. Obviously, we're the B team of that, but kind of making up for the missed.
I'm just trying to enjoy a donut without chewing straight into my microphone right now.
Yeah, so we started the morning ending on a huge high note coming in, and now we're here, reading the chat and waiting for our feeds to reconnect.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Is that muling, or are we at an official aid station?
That is actually a really good question.
Well, I mean, we were just along on the journey with Mr. Peter Mortimer.
Yes.
Who he'll now be referred to.
The king of Flagstaff hospitality. As we've seen.
Exactly.
This is actually really good, by
and
the
he
way.
was at an aid station, so I think we are within our within the bounds of the aid station still. But who knows? I mean, we'll leave it up to you. Are we disqualified from this race now? Do you, the viewers, deem us as getting the boot from the race? Should we have our bibs cut?
Apparently, there are people watching this at work that are now cracking up at their desk, and we might have finally, after 4 days, blown their cover. And all it took was a donut meme.
Yeah.
That's ultra running.
Cocodona reference.
That is ultra running. If we needed a jam cam now more than ever, this would be the moment. So if Skylar is out there listening, let's try to reel in the jam. But honestly, we're closing in on the cutoff here, and we're wondering if I almost called you Skylar, if Matt and I will make the cutoff. But I'm just enjoying the comments too much. One of you is hallucinating the other one. I don't know if they heard my. Did they hear my
No, but you should. Well, they might have, but
I literally
you should share it again.
No, I saw my backpack in the shadow about 4 hours ago, and it looked like a giant raccoon. So
Well,
I had to do a double take.
We
Ladies and
did
gentlemen,
have a
it looks
coyote
like
sighting.
my mother just joined the chat. So I might have my own very Mama Versteeg moment where, she stepped in on course and had to give her judgment.
Do you think she's proud that you laughed on? I don't want to say live TV, but it's like
That's the thing is, I feel like we're live TV.
Version of live TV.
I mean, honestly, we eclipsed like almost 200,000 viewers in the last 3 days, and this has honestly been beyond. All kidding aside, it's been beyond anything we thought it was going to become. So honestly, really, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and
we
thank
are
you
just
for sticking
tired at this
around.
point. I'm not even going to lie.
Through some of those tough patches where we, weren't able to get good cell phone coverage, and you were stuck with just two guys talking about this wonderful race.
Yeah, and again, shout out to Ashton downstairs. We are just waiting to get some feeds in the sky, or not in the sky, but just feeds in. And my brother's now watching, asking if I really ate a donut, because I usually am a health freak, but at this point it's just coffee and donuts.
Well, I think that when you started off your nutrition strategy for this broadcast version of the race with just gels, I think that like the health concerns were out the window at that point. When you were just taking sugar straight to the head, which is a solid fuel source.
That's good. It's good meat.
But you weren't over here eating like carrot sticks and hummus.
That is true. But you got to find out what works for you. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're. It's kind of training for the next one. Every race or big training effort is kind of like training for the next one. But that's pretty much it. And honestly, as we stay steady at over 1,000 views here on this Thursday morning, my brother confirms that donuts have always worked for him, and I got to say they really have. He's been going strong for 30 years and almost. And
I mean, these donuts are pretty doggone good. So I think they're working for us as well.
We actually do have a good question actually from Highland Running Club. How many pacers did go over 100 miles? We do know that. Was it Kerry Ward's pacer? It was Kerry Ward's pacer. He did 100 miles. 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 He that ran his first ultra by pacing him 50 miles and then busted out a homemade upright bass. He played like a classical, original like classical music, and then it turned into like a kind of like Eastern mystical music, and then he just went straight into like a Red Hot Chili Peppers bass line. And that happened at Sedona 8 Station on mile 161 yesterday.
You'll have to definitely be on the lookout for our highlight reel, because if that doesn't make it, I will be utterly disappointed, because that was truly incredible.
Do you have a sister named Kelly?
No, that's my mama.
Oh, so both of our moms have entered the chat room.
Moms are in the chat.
Well, it's
pretty
family
easily
affair.
identifiable with the last name, I might say. There's not a lot of Feldhakes out there, you know?
Well, that's why I was like, oh, is it your sister? Yeah.
Nope, my mother.
That would have been my next guess, yeah.
And being very motherly, I might add, you both need sleep, but you're both doing really well. So we both do need sleep at some point, and I think the jury is still out as to whether we're doing well or not. But it seems like people are still tuning in, which is good.
And we are just waiting in to get messages here. I've never had my phone blow up more. I have people sending me donut memes to my phone already. And again, we're kind of in intermission right now. We were going to be playing our 15-minute break, Doc, but it seems when we reset the feeds, everything got cut, and we did send our TD home to get some much-needed rest. But yeah,
we just got a.
We're hearing from Skizzlefresh. Save me a donut. Actually, Skylar, we'd love you to come on and share a virtual donut with us to give us an update, because I know you and I were on the phone a few times last night to try to get some updates and intel on how Jamil's doing. And I want to see if there are any new developments since the sun has risen yet again. So we will see if Skylar, we'll see if he wants to jump in or if he's going to be shy about it. I think he likes to jump in, though. It was actually nice having him a quick in-person Skylar treat.
Yeah, it was.
Was that on Tuesday? What day was
pretty
that?
Good,
Tuesday?
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite nice. And then, Rob, we have we got a nice message here on Instagram from Cole Crosby, who you might know as a Northeasterner. He has done. What is the race in Ithaca? Why am I the Cayuga Trails a number of times? But he just wanted to tell us that he thinks we're doing a great job, so I wanted to give him a shout out for the love that he sent straight to our sharer of all things social, Miss Jen Laughlin.
Absolutely. Well, that's phenomenal. I'm gonna try to read the whole thing. I just can't see that far. So, is it also? Yeah, was it pinged? I thought it was a direct message to you. That's why.
It's in the.
I will check it out, but
it's in the old campfire.
Much appreciated. We almost got another update that you missed. We did almost get a Cocodona campfire last night, but then we had to move some cameras because that's how quickly Michael was moving up the course. Because when the ping updated,
we did get a little one at one point.
We
last
got
night
like
up at Turkey Butte.
We got a quick one at this. There was a double serving of quick ones. Hector Rodriguez popped on at Black Tank for a quick one. Again, that area not much cellular connection, and then we got one at I don't know what was it. Turkey Butte. Yeah, it was Turkey Butte up on the Coconino Plateau. So. This is like the Truman Show for endurance runners. Well, that is actually probably one of the best movies that Jim Carrey's ever been in. Truman Show, very underrated.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we are trying to get Peter's finish on the stream, but honestly, we are not sure if we're going to be able to get it up on the feed. But we also do have a few hours before he comes in. I mean, he's coming down off Eldon. It's going to be at least 90 minutes. And we have Jim O'Connor say he's probably going to move out west now and open Cocodonut's first location. So, but all kidding aside, we do have some requests for bib numbers. And we will try to see if we can get clarification from Skylar. Jamil's tracker has been paused for an hour and 40 minutes. Is he sleeping? Possibly. Pull that back up. See if we can look into that.
Yeah, I believe last I heard was Jamil was
Taking
having
a
a little
snooze?
nap ski at the Cinder Pit.
That's awesome.
There were some questions about, let's see, I believe bib 11 is Trevor Medding.
Again, Daniel, I know you're asking for coverage of Maggie across the line. We are trying to work on getting some people down there. Again, the course is it's just so spread out at this point, and we're trying to get some. We're trying to move the few filmers we did have left on reserve to get there, and to get the gear they need there. But we will see. Speaking of which, just get an update on where Maggie's at. So she's looking, so 4 minutes ago at 227, mile 227. So yeah, and again, we'll see if this updated. Last time it did not update. That's the issue. I guess this might pull them off once they do it. If we look at his full history. Yeah, so according to trackleaders.com, it has Michael Versteeg's finish time at 70, so 3 days 50 minutes. That would be 72 hours 50 minutes for running 250. And also it has it at 257.2 miles according to track leaders. We'll see if we can confirm if those are the official numbers. But we will get back to you in a minute. Take a look down the course. We're still not. I know. So I think at this point we are going to take our first break of the day, and we'll update you on the coverage possibilities. Honestly, we're just gonna figure it out on the fly here, but we are approaching our deadline anyway. So follow along on at our Instagram at Aravaipa Running, and we will update you about some potential live stream coverage. We want to see if we can get a camera there to at least get our podium, but we'll work on it the best we can, because it is, if we could do the math, it's probably pretty spread out. Again, at this point, sorry about that on the map. So we will be back later in the day, we believe. So follow us out on at Aravaipa Running on Instagram, and thanks for tuning in. This has been honestly like pretty a crazy endeavor for all these runners that towed the star line. So.
Yeah, and it's been amazing to follow along and to be able to bring you all the coverage that we've been able to bring you thus far, just to help, tell the stories of these runners and their journey along this amazing and beautiful race course.
Yeah, and we do. Shiard Galinas is saying that the ladies winner, so at this point that looks like it could be Maggie, maybe 6 hours out. We'll see if we can get some cameras out there. Maybe that's what we will be able to film. It's just going to take some planning again with these shifts around the split times, and we're learning as we go on this unknown course here for Cocodona. But again, we talked to Jeff, but I talked to so many runners, they're just having a blast out there. Of course, it is a quite challenging course, but they nonetheless are saying that Cocodona is a race that they will not soon forget. So, and we still got a few days out, but right now we are going to leave it at that. But again, I'll have to go over there and do it manually. So TD is not here.
So that is going to conclude our live stream coverage for the time being. Again, stay tuned to our social channels, mostly on Instagram at Aravaipa Running for when we might either be coming back on or being able to bring you more content through our own social channels. So thank you all again so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to be with you, and